Stop loving you, girl. So many people wanna see me. Stop loving you, girl. No, I can't stop loving you. I wouldn't be so ungrateful to you. You've done so many things for me. You even made me strong when I was weak. So many people wanna see me. Stop loving you. Oh no. So many people wanna see me. Stop loving you, girl. Yes, indeed. It's a very pleasant good evening to you. Good night as we come to you with our very first episode of Caribbean Extravaganza at CLTV on a Tuesday evening. How you doing out there, audience? It's Pastor Rob here, or TC Rob if you want to call me. Leave the pastor out for a little while. TC, Top Celebrity Rob. Okay, folks, how you doing? We already got one a viewer here listening, looking at us today. And of course, I want to introduce to you none other than Miss Sharon Thompson, the co-host here, and I'm glad that you're here today with us. Sharon, how are you feeling today?
Excellent, excellent. How are you? Good to be here. Good to be here.
Okay, okay. All right. Well, this show is called Caribbean Extravaganza, and it's our first time up. And Sharon, you and I plan to bring to the folks the best in the Caribbean every Tuesday night, right?
That is correct. That is correct.
Okay, we're going to be bringing guests from Trinidad,
Guyana,
Guyana.
Turks and Caicos,
All right. Keep talking to
Cayman
us.
Islands, the Cayman Islands, Grenada, Guyana. I mean,
Trinidad and Tobago.
we're gonna touch all over the Caribbean.
All over. Yeah, we're down here at Caribbean Life Radio this evening, and DJ Red's in the studios with me, and of course, my DJ Junior. Yes, indeed. He's clapping for himself. Okay. Well, we got a very interesting show planned for you this evening. Three people already tuned in, and guess what? We're going to be getting some financial information this evening. So, right away, without further ado, I would like to introduce to you and bring to this to the Caribbean Live studio this evening none other than Everton Christie. Mr. Christie, how are you doing?
I am doing awesome. I'm super excited that I am here with you guys to share the information about financial education. It's so important that we continue to make sure we share this information every day with everyone.
Okay. All right.
So a little bit about Mr. Christie. Okay, so he's a financial educator, campaigner. I mean, he's been in the business for quite some time now. This gentleman is packing a punch. Okay, you want to tune in, you want to get your notepad, you want to sit around and take copious notes because, I mean, what he has to give you, you can't pay for it. So, Mr. Christie, Brother Christie, take it away.
All right, awesome. Hey,
go ahead and tell us just a little bit about yourself.
My name is Everton Christie, and I am from the beautiful island of Jamaica, nestled in that beautiful Caribbean Sea. And we're here to make sure we share and to make sure, as they say in Jamaica, we're all of one. All right, together we are all one. So we must ensure that we share, learn, understand, and share information as we come along on a daily basis.
Mr. Christie, let me ask you first, though. You're from Jamaica, but where in Jamaica are you from?
Well, guys, I was born in Kingston Town. Everybody always said I'm from Kingston, but I'm from Kingston.
Yeah.
All right. Grew up there. As a matter of fact, if you understand or know Kingston, right across from Swallowfield High School, there's a lane called Whitehall Lane.
Yes.
Right there. That's
Yeah.
where I grew up.
Okay.
With beautiful mom and dad.
Yeah. A born Kingstonian.
Born
Kingston. Born and grown. Raised a Kingstonian. Well, good to have you here with us, and you could continue. Just wanted to make sure that you was from my area.
All right. Well, all of us are still our one, no matter where we're coming
Yes.
from.
Mm-hmm.
I am here been here in the United States for quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
Graduated from college in 1990, hit the
Mhm.
career field in 1991, and my goal and objective is that I wanted to be in finances. Um, as I went through that, it wasn't as happy as I thought it would be. All right. Needless to say, I am one of the 8 children my mom has. And when she brought us all here from Jamaica, there's a struggle. When you get here to this island, this country, there are a lot of nuances that you do not understand. There's a lot of information and legality that you have to learn. And unfortunately, there is no rule book in regards to how you're going to understand that information. You're required to go out there and seek that information on your own. Well, I want to make it more simpler for everyone else going forward. I want to be able to share that information. So I operate a business where we come to you, we share with you, we run different classes at different time and different location, where we want to make sure we share it so you understand what affects you and how it affects you. Because there's a lot of statistics out there, and if you're not clear and sure about them, they still affect you. All right. As they say, if you understand how oxygen works, it applies to you no matter where you are and what part of the country that you are in at any given time. All right. One of the things I want to just kind of throw at you guys there. All right. After World War II, that was the last millennium, right? A lot of people were very comfortable in getting back to lifestyle. Most people took on a job. They worked with that job for the next 30, 40 years. They retire, and then their pension that the company would provide to them would give them a status of life. But guess what? We have certainly learned that companies have decided pension is not the way for them to go. Corporate is not are not able to put that together because they can't afford it. All right. Then if we came through the 1980 to the 1990s, we had a lot of individuals then start becoming very frugal in regards to how money and how they manage their money. A lot of the time during that year, credit card became big. Loans became a lot. People were spending so much, and they were spending more than they were actually making. We actually had a lot of kids go off to colleges, and they created debt. Unfortunately, those debt become a way of life. Even today, I'm dealing with people in their 60s, 70s, in their 80s, and they still have student loan. It doesn't go away. You can't write it off. You can't file bankruptcy. It's going to stay with you the whole time. And guess what? They now signed into law that they're able to go after your estate when you're even gone to make sure they recoup their money. So you have to understand the rules that govern how you manage your money. So people need to understand that you go out, you make money, but you're going to have to know where your money. We all come from the culture of where we go out and work hard every day. I saw my parents did it, and they worked very hard. But guess what? They didn't understand all the rules. My dad has passed on, but my mom is still here. Some of the stuff that she didn't pay attention or didn't follow through on because, hey, we think that because we're from the island or any other country in this world, when we get here, the rule is still the same. It's not. We have to understand the rule here in this country and how it applies to you and your finances. So once you get that under your belt and you start knowing, well, where do I start putting my money? I've worked hard for it. I got it. Where should I put it to make sure that it grows and build for not just for myself, but what do we always talk about? Legacy. We want to always provide for the next generation. The next generation shouldn't start off at zero. They should start off wherever you have left off. But too often, because we have not prepared and made proper planning, one medical situation wipes everything out. One mistakes of the market can wipe out all your money because you're not protecting it. You worked hard for it. Let us show you how to make sure it's going to work for you. You have to prepare along the way. It's just like any soccer player or cricket player. Guess what? They have to learn the rules of the game, and they have to go out there and play it wise. By doing so with the information, it's a greater chance of them winning. But if you just get out on the field and decide, well, I'm gonna play soccer and I can run over wherever I want to go, guess what? Penalty, fees, challenges, and guess what? The possibility of your team losing, that's catapult. So we have to look at things in a very direct process of how we're building it. Now we have a system where we call financial foundation. And a lot of people say, well, what's a financial foundation? This is everything that you are doing day in and day out. How do we build it? How do we put it together? Because every single person, if I ask them, step off the boat, hey, I want to build my finances, they automatically say, I want to invest. What are you investing in? Do you have the collateral? Can you risk what you're investing? Because if you can't risk it, guess what? Don't put it in that market. But there is a building block where if you set it up right, you can help the family from the ground up. Now, first part of it is always protection. Now, when you think of protection, think of you go out and you purchase a home. What's the first thing the mortgage lender tell you need to buy?
Insurance.
You need to have insurance, but one of the first thing that they tell you is that you need to have private mortgage insurance. Well, let me ask you, who does that private mortgage insurance protect? In reality, it doesn't protect you. It protects them and the money that they have loaned to. And guess who pays for it? You are. So they're protecting their money. Second example, you go out and buy a car. Hey, I want that nice BMW and I want it parked in my driveway. What do they tell you before you pull out? Hey, I need you to have car insurance. Who does the car insurance protect? Whether you hit somebody, you cause any damage, then they have some place to go after and repair. And then it costs you. Because if you do have any accidents or any issues, you wind up paying more. So they're protecting themselves already. And those are just two examples. So guess what? You're going out and working very hard every single day. But if I ask, have you put insurance on your cell phone, those iPhones? Have you put insurance on your car? Have you put insurance on your house? You put all of those, but guess what? Who pays all of those bills? Look at the man in the mirror. You are the one.
That's right.
And guess what? You do not have any insurance. So then let me ask you a question. You don't come home for whatever reason that day. How does the family continue to survive? How does what you have built remains if you're not protecting what you're building? Insurance. If you don't have health insurance, a lot of people walk around now, I'm good, I don't have to see the doctor. But one health issue, no matter what you've saved up, they'll say you have that bill to pay and they'll expect you to pay it and they're not letting you off the hook. So it's important that we understand protection is one of the key and most important. The second one is eliminating your debt.
Okay.
You have to either manage it or eliminate it. Now, hey, I walked out of college, didn't have a job yet. Why did the insurance these credit card company gave me 4 different credit cards? How was I supposed to pay it? But they said, hey, if you get into debt, we'll give you a payment plan. That payment plan may last me what? 30 years, 20 years before I finally get it paid off. So they understand, and guess what? During that whole time, you're paying for what you bought, you're paying for interest and all the fees that they've added on, because when you don't pay the bill, they add on a fee. Then they still charge you the interest, so they're double they're getting from you. I'll use another example.
Okay, just hold on with that example for a second. So, in case you're just joining us here this evening, we're speaking to Mr. Everton Christie, financial representative, and we just want to make sure that you understand and that he's speaking about something that's very important to you, something that's very important for you. Mr. Christie, welcome again. And we're going to have just one selection here, and then we're going to come right back to Mr. Christie in a second, okay?
All right, don't go anywhere.
Say they can't stop me from loving you, no way.
wanna see me stop loving you, girl. So many people wanna see me stop loving you, girl. No, I can't stop loving you. No, I wanna be someone's more. Hey, to me, Mama, don't be not alone. To me, make your music up and warm. Them said to me, I come on the song. To me, I come nice up alone. I'm about to sleep, steady key. I'm not gonna keep you all key. Everyone feeling good, enjoying themselves. Just a
Yes, indeed. So we're back here on Caribbean Extravaganza, our very first show, and we have Miss Sharon Thompson with us this evening. Sharon, are you getting this information? Oh, is it all this information helping you?
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm so grateful to Mr. Christie, Brother Christie. Thank you so much. And guys, I hope you're tuning in and taking notes. This is critical information that you're getting free. The operative word here is free.
Okay, go on, Mr. Christie. Once again, it'll continue where we left off.
All right.
All right.
Guys, I'm passionate. I'm excited
I
about
could
this
see.
information because I want to make sure everyone gets it. All right. I stopped off where I was talking about debt management.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people go into and they purchase. The American dream is to buy your home, and you buy it, and they set up you with a payment plan that you're going to pay. But no one ever explains to you that you don't have to pay that home off in 30 years. Most people look at it and they pay it month after month, and they pay it for 30 years. If you ever take the calculator, all right, and if you're at home, take that calculator and multiply what your monthly premium and by the 30 years that you're going to take and pay it off. And if you look at it, you're paying almost 2.5 times what you originally agreed on to pay that home.
Mm-hmm.
So they understand the process. They understand the system. Guys, one thing I want you to take away from tonight, there's a rule called Rule of 72.
Okay.
There's a smart guy that over the year, his system has retained in place. His name is Albert Einstein. All right. A lot of us can agree and attest that was a very smart man during his time. Well, he came up with a rule called Rule of 72.
Mm-hmm.
With that Rule of 72, it basically says whatever interest rate any institution is going to charge you, divide that number into 72, and whatever the result comes out to, that's how long it takes for either if it's your debt to double or what you owe to someone or what someone owes you doubles. So if all else fails, the person just continue the process. That's how long. Now, most credit cards, what do they charge you? All right. I told you I had 4 credit cards coming out of college and I didn't have a job yet. All right. They're charging you anywhere from 18% to 30 something percent.
Mm-hmm.
So if you divide 30 into 72, it goes 2.2 times. So every 2.2 years, that debt of mine is going to double. So they understand how they're going to keep me on that cycle, on that hamster wheel, paying that little bit amount. You have to learn those rules and apply them to your existence, your being, your household, your wealth that you're trying to create. Now, you always hear in Jamaica, you have to save for that rainy day, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Well, when you're saving for that rainy day, where do you put it? How much should you have? There is a process and a formula in regards to that. Everything comes with a formula, all right? Whatever you make on a monthly basis, minimally in our industry, you should have 6 times that amount put away, liquidly available for just emergency. Didn't say to spend from it. It's for emergency. What are those emergency? Any of us have been laid off? or a lot of you have been in that process. And when you've been laid off, guess what? If you had that emergency fund, you will go ahead and be able to take care of your bills at least for 6 months. Should you stop at 6 months? I always tell people if you can get to 12 or even more, it's even better.
Mhm.
But even if you have 6 months, it gives you the comfort of 6 months to go find another job comparable. Because when you don't have the emergency fund, guess what you do? You take the first job that comes across. Now, if you were being paid, say, $20 an hour,
Mhm.
and you go out and you take a job for $11 because of the first thing that's been offered to you, are you in any better shape?
Mhm.
No emergency fund. You're just trying to stay afloat, and guess what? You're going further and further in debt because you are being paid less, and it's not taking care of all your needs of your household. Now, the big one everyone always talk about is investments.
Mhm.
Investment is the caveat of the top. Doesn't say that you should not start and maintain that over a period of time, but it doesn't need to be the first thing you think about.
Mhm.
It needs to be the last part of the process, but you have done a little of it over the period of time. So you started a 401k, right? You bought your home, that's another investment. But then again, you have to start thinking about long-term goals. You are going to retire. You are going to come to a day when you are not going to be making money. Because guess what? You're not going to be able to work for the rest of your life.
Mhm.
And no one wants to work for the rest of their life. So you want to make sure that you are starting to prepare. Where do you put your money? Now, if you're young, yeah, you can be aggressive.
Mhm.
But if you're 50 and 60, being aggressive can be very detrimental.
Mhm.
How many people you know have been very aggressive in their 60s, and then when there's one little hiccup, everything is gone? Do they have time enough to rebuild? They don't. So you have to think about it wisely. Make good decisions because it's going to take time.
Mhm.
In life, there's like this, everything that you do, you're cooking or anything out there, there's a formula and a process to it. Well, in finance, there's one just the same. It's called the wealth formula. The wealth formula is the money that you're going out there and earning. You have to understand where you're putting it and where it's going to be. You're going to have to give it time for that money to grow. Nothing just automatically appears overnight. So you don't plant a tree, a little scrub tonight, and then expect to be a tree that you're harvesting. It's going to take time to get there. Rate of return, a little bit different. When you're here, this is a capitalistic society. The rate of return that you're getting is whatever that interest rate. If it's not above the next thing that I'm going to mention, you're behind the 8 ball. All right. There's another thing that they call inflation. You hear them screaming and yelling about it all the time. Inflation is too high. Inflation is too high. Well, let me ask you a question. If you are getting, say, 8% and inflation is 7%, are you getting any growth?
Mhm.
If you have and you're getting, say, 8%, you need inflation to be a lot less, because if not, you're just breaking even, because 7% has already been wiped out. So if you're dealing with 1%, there's not much growth occurring. So we have to fix that. We have to understand the formula.
Mhm.
We have to know that. Now, live here in the United States, you have an uncle. How many of your uncle that you know back in the island, and when he come and visit you, he always has his hands out?
Mhm.
All right. Now he can have it turned down or he can have it turned up.
Mhm.
Well, the uncle that I'm talking about is the one that's called Uncle Sam here in the United States. All right.
Oh, I know that, Uncle.
Hey, we are all family, because that's the same common uncle. But guess what? His hands is always out and it's up, and he's expecting you to put something in there.
Mhm.
And that's called taxes.
Mhm.
Now, you don't have to pay the most tax,
Mhm.
but guess what? If you're just an employee paying with the W-2, yeah, you wind up paying the most tax.
Mhm.
But you have to also understand, taxes is a way of our life and a part of our system.
Mhm.
How many of us want to go fetch water from a river or whatever? We want to turn on the tap
Mhm.
and the water come out.
That's
That's
for
right.
sure.
Your taxes at work. You want to flip that light switch and the light comes on that you don't have to go buy a kerosene lamp and figure out how much light you're going to have.
Mhm.
Uncle Sam is at work.
Okay.
All right. So the roads that you drive out there, and yeah, you have that nice BMW and you're running down the road and you want a smooth road and it's not a rocky road.
Yeah.
Uncle Sam is at work. So you have to pay, everybody got to pay their fair share.
That's right.
But if you want, take a look at the IRS website. It
Mhm.
says you don't have to pay the maximum amount
Mhm.
so long it is within the law.
Mhm.
So I'm not telling any of you go out there and break the law, all right? Because I don't look good in orange and white jumpsuit, and I don't sure any of you want the same.
No.
I love my freedom, and I want to keep it that way that I can do what I need, what I love to do. So
Okay.
just follow the law, follow the rules. Hey, your CPA, your accountant that you talk to, make sure they're not just somebody just do crunching the numbers. Talk to them and let them know what your goals are, because they need to be able to explain to you how tax is going to impact you.
Okay, Mr. Christie. Wow, that's just a very important information, and I want to hear what the full how they can reach you, and how they could get in touch with you for some more of that personal, get personal with you. But we'll be back right after this next song from our DJ right here. We'll be right back with Mr. Everton Christie, financial representative. Okay.
If I had the word, I'd give it to you. If I had the word, I'd give it to you. You're like an angel to me. You always keep your secret. Yeah. When I'm exhausted, even though I always know just you touch my hand, you've always understand what everything inside. I thank you for sending this everything God.
My DJ is on the money today. I think is that Mr. John Holt you got in the background there?
Dennis Brown.
He's playing the Dennis Brown version. Okay. If I had the world, okay, all right. Now we'll see someone who can make sure that we have the world is on with us today, and this is Mr. Everton Christie, and I'm glad that you stopped by to just inform us about our finances, and we take it for granted, and most people think they know about their finances, and the reality is we really don't know until we sit down with an expert like yourself. Now tell us, Mr. Christie, how we could get in touch with you, where you're located or so forth like that.
Well, I am located right here in Atlanta. I do operate in multiple states. So if you have somebody that lives out of state, we can help. But I'm right here in Norcross. Our office is located at 5880 Live Oak Parkway, Suite 140. Happy to have you drop in. We're happy to share information. We're constantly sharing information there and trying to put together information to get information into the people's hand. The more they understand, I'm not asking you to become an expert. I'm not asking you to stop what you're doing, the passion that you have about your career, but you need to understand finance is critical to our being. We need it now and we will need it later. Get in the information, understand the information, because remember, you control what even your financial representative does. They represent you but they're going to share information. They're going to give you whatever they want to do or suggestion that they have, but you have to be the one to say yes or no. All right, I'm gonna give you an example. Take that movie Rocky Balboa. All right, he's heading off to Russia. He's gonna have one of the greatest fight. His accountant comes to him and tells him, "Hey, I need you to sign this paper," which he signed and turned everything over to that accountant. What happens when he gets back? The accountant has made some bad decision during all that process and all that time, and the wealth is gone. You have to understand that when you're even signing a piece of paper, no matter the person who's handing it to you, you have to have an idea of what they're asking you to sign, because you can be signing away everything you have. It's the same thing when you're investing. You have to have a basic understanding. And that's why we're passionate about the educational piece of it. If we educate you to have an understanding of it, then when we're asking you or making suggestions to you, you have an idea. All right. I have a business partner, just another example. He's sending all these emails, sending all these notices to this one young lady just before the market last crash. She's saying, hey, no response. That's his job. But when the market crashed, she comes and starts yelling. Why didn't you protect my money? I'm paying you to protect my money. I'm giving you the authority to protect my money. But now the guideline says I can only do what you say yes or not do what you say no to. If you don't respond to one of my suggestion or recommendation, whatever you said yes to before stays in place. So you have the authority. Remember, you have the authority. They have the expertise. Utilize them, but you have to have some understanding. Don't just give it and sign over everything to someone else to make all your decisions, because guess who knows best for you at home? You or the person you just put in authority?
So, Mr. Christie, then, do you go around and have seminars? Seminars? So,
well, that's why I'm here. Caribbean Live TV with Caribbean Explosion. We want to get this information out there to everyone daily. We want to make sure you understand this information. So at our office at Live Oak, you can stop by. We're there to help you ongoing. Hey, so you live in a different state? We'll make the appointment with you. We'll figure out we can do it by Zoom or we can do it face-to-face. Some of my clients, they prefer face-to-face. So guess what? We make the arrangement. I make the trip, spend the time there, do what needs to be done, and then return home. But if you're here in Atlanta, make it a priority for yourself to come out and learn the information. Some of the simplest thing also people don't understand. Guess what? We all become seniors. If I ask 10 people, do you understand Medicare? Maybe 1 out of the 10 is going to say, yes, I understand it, because they attended a workshop to learn what it is before they get to it. Because when we get from the island, we always hear, oh, healthcare is free. You're getting Medicare. Is it free? No, it's not. First, you got to work 10 years to get Part A without a charge. All right. Second, Part B, you're going to be required to do. It comes with a monthly premium. And if you're not paying that premium, it cuts it off. And then you're back to not having it. And guess what? Then there are penalties for you to get it back. So why not learn the process, learn the system before you get there, so you can have an easy transition and an excellent process to getting where you want to be.
Yes, indeed. So, Mr. Christie, I'm glad you stopped by to speak with us today. We want to hear more from you. And I know this kind of information is good for churches and, different organizations. Is that something that you offer? I mean, what if I have a church and I want you to come over to speak with my congregation? Are you available to, do you have plan sessions like those?
We meet everyone where it's best for them.
Okay.
Churches, libraries. We have gone to community centers, We have also had the whole family get together and say, hey, one person said, this information is too good just for me. I want it with my whole family. Okay, you know what? Let's do a little barbecue together and we'll come over and share the information. We're there to share the information at wherever that point is. Listen, we've gone even to the point, our company had one of our business representative actually has been into to educate the FBI. So guys, our company, if they're allowing us into their building to educate them on, they're gone through a full background check of who we are, what we are all about, because they're not just gonna let anyone in. If they allow us in and we're there to share the information with them, that's what's critical. That's what's important. Because every family, we've gone to the police station, we've gone to the fire department, just to sit down and share. Bring them lunch, share the information with them. Whatever way we can get the information out, we're going to work towards doing so. And we want to get that done. And hey, being here in Caribbean Life, I'll be happy to come back anytime to share this information on the Caribbean Explosion, because we want this information in every single person's
So,
repertoire.
Mr. Christie, I have here a office number for you, which is 919-218-4962. It's on my rescreen screen there. If anyone wants to just jot it down, and I would suggest that you call Mr. Christie up and get your finances straight.
Happy to help.
Okay, so we have a few more minutes here with you because we have other guests that are waiting. And as I said, I'm really glad that you stopped by today. Sharon, you got a couple of questions for Mr. Christie this evening?
Well, pretty much, Mr. Christie, you gave your number. Is your email address that you could share with us? I mean, that'd be, another point of contact.
Hey
Go
guys,
ahead
you
and do
get
that.
my direct email. All right. When it comes right into my email box. I am up usually most morning by about 6 a.m. and I'm reading through to see and make an appointment. My assistant makes the phone calls and schedule them to make sure this happened. My email is EU Christie, just like my last name, CHRISTIE, the number 1 at gmail.com. All right, that's EU Christie 1 at gmail.com.
Okay, and we're going to have it on screen right here for them, for the audience to see. There it goes, just for you right here on screen. Okay, so that's Mr. Christie's email. So get in touch with him. Get those finances straight. It is important, as he says. We take it for granted that we know everything about finances, but when we go to the expert, they're able to set us straight. And that's my suggestion. Just look, you have Mr. Christie, look him up, get with him, get those finances straight. You might have a couple of student loans that you want to pay off. Let him get things in the right manner for you. Everything straightened out. Okay, a mortgage that's behind. I'm talking about. Those are those regular things that we got going. Some of the regular things. Go ahead.
You can be in trouble. We'll help you through the process. We want to make sure you get everything set and be in the right order, so you don't have to worry about it. I want to make sure that you, from one generation to the next, that you're protecting what you built. You worked hard all your life. Don't let it go to waste.
Okay. Well, thank you for stopping by, and we're going to have you back again.
Looking forward to.
And thank you for being our very first guest on Caribbean Extravaganza. Okay, and it's good that we are the first show speaking about finances. Say we want for you to keep those finances straight, so you all could support our different ads that we have here.
Yes.
We want to make sure that you're financially stable. So Christy, thanks again for stopping by. We do appreciate you.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you for having me.
Now, we're definitely going to get you on our schedule. You're going to be back here because you know what? Kicking off the year with finances. I mean, that to me speaks volume.
You make plans. It's the beginning of the year.
That's it.
Well, let's show you how to make sure it's successful at the end of the year.
Absolutely.
Very good.
Thank you very much. We really appreciate you, sir.
Okay. But until
Thank
next
you,
time we see you,
Have a good one.
Have-
have a good one. All right.
Thank you
That
for
was a
having me.
wealth of information right there. Okay. Thanks for stopping by, sir. Okay.
Money in my pocket, but I just can't get no.
More Dennis Brown for you. This is Caribbean Extravaganza on a Tuesday evening. You're in tune to TC Rob and, of course, Miss Sharon.
Thompson over here, Sharon Thompson. Tune in, everybody. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Should I put my trust in you? And should you
You guys
lay
have another hour, right?
Should I come to right? Why should I think this way? Thinking that you're going away. There ain't no way we'll stay together anymore. Am I to go on now, living this way? Acting like a child so young and gay. You don't know what it means to love. You don't know, cause you don't know what you got. So now it's time to use it. Step aside now and let me show you how to treat a woman. She needs a tender touch, she needs loving on you. Tell me how you breathe, even so long, I'm so lonely. She's a winner, so you better protect her. Oh, don't know what to do, she'll comfort you. She's a true, she'll be your friend, she's always around.